So good morning everyone. In the previous sections, we observed potentiometer. So it is a device used to find out EMF of a cell without drawing any amount of the electric current here. So this is what we can say a potentiometer. So here we are not drawing any amount of the electric current, so that we are going to use in order to identify EMF of a cell here. Now, so let us see what is the principle of this potentiometer. So in order to identify the principle, here we have taken V is equal to I into R. So this is according to the Ohm's law here. Now we know here, so resistance of a wire is given by R is equal to rho into L divided by A. So now just you are replacing this R value. So when we replace here, I rho L divided by A here. So in that one, if I consider some material or else a wire is not changed, so that resistivity remains the same, and we have taken uniform cross sectional area wire. Now if the current remains the same, so whenever the current remains the same, the net value what we write here, I rho divided by A, that entirely remains as a one of the constant here. So the everything appears as a constant if we have amount of electric current remains constant. If I value remains constant here, so all the value together we can write V is equal to K into L here. So where K includes I into rho divided by A, so and the whole constant should be taken because of the amount of electric currents if remains as a constant here. So that we can write, so if the constant is cancelled out here, we can observe V is directly proportional to L value. So what does it mean? The potential difference. So this is potential difference across any parts of the wire. Across any parts of the wire is directly proportional to length of the portion with constant amount of what here, electric current. So this is the principle of what we can say potentiometer. Now let us see what are the applications of this potentiometer. So the first application, we have taken this as a comparison of a EMF of two cells. So in order to make this one, we are going to observe this is a construction of this potentiometer. So now potentiometer, it is of a 400 centimeter wire which is connected across edges like this. So this is, if I move from the point A, when it comes to here, this is of 100 centimeter. Now from this to this end, again it will be of a 200 centimeter. Thereafter from this end to this end, again we have a 300 centimeter. Thereafter entirely up to the point C, the entire total length of the wire, either manganine or tungsten. So this is of what here, 400 centimeter. Now so this is a basic construction of the potentiometer. For this potentiometer, end A to the end C. So end A to the end C, we are going to make this as a battery arm. So as that of a Wheatstone bridge as well as meter bridge, between end A to the end C, we are going to make this as a battery arm here. Now if this is a battery arm, so the flow of the electric current that remains constant or not, in order to identify, we are connecting an ammeter. So we are connecting an ammeter just to verify or else just to confirm the amount of electric current in the given circuit that remains as a constant here. Now, so this is a particular device called as a rheostat. So rheostat is a device which is used to make variation in the amount of what? Resistance. So resistance value na variation malike on the particular device na use martri. So that is called as a rheostat. So now, so this rheostat is connected to make variation in the amount of what here resistance value. Now, so here we are going to observe two cells. So the first cell, what it is connected to the particular point C to the so positive terminal of this first cell, and the negative terminal of a first cell is connected to the two-way key. So this is called as a two-way key, in the sense it has a two ways. So you can make a bifurcation of what here the amount of electric current. So that is the reason we call this as a two-way key. So two-way key in the sense this is the first switch S1 here, and this is the second switch given by S2 value. So the first switch and the second switch, what we observe, so that's the reason it has a two keys. That is the reason we call this as a two-way key. So then now two-way key and the define market. Now in that one, the extreme end, so extreme upper end of this two-way key is connected to what here negative terminal of a first cell, and at the middle section, so at the middle part of this two-way key, one terminal is connected to what here one end of a galvanometer, whereas other end of a galvanometer is connected to one of the resistance box. Thereafter from that resistance box, one end is connected to a particular pen like structure called as a jockey. So this is called as a jockey. Now so if this is a case like this, here we are going to observe from the lower terminal of the two-way key, there we are going to observe so negative terminal of a second cell which is having a EMF given by E2. So negative terminal of the second cell is connected to what here exactly lower terminal of a two-way key here. Now so if that is the case, let us see how to make a comparison of these two cells having a EMF given by E1 and this is given by E2 here. So we will follow the two steps here. So what is the first step? Let us see. So in the first step, we will make the switch S1 will be closed. So this switch S1 will be closed, whereas switch S2 kept as a open. So here we will make a switch S1 was closed here and switch S2 was kept as a open. So this is we are going to observe if only switch S1 is closed like this. So if only switch S1 is closed like this, what happens? This E1 is active case. So now the EMF of the cell or else the first cell in the given circuit is in the active condition, whereas the second cell in the given circuit that is inactive state here. So why it is inactive? The reason is here the switch is open. When the switch is open here, there is no flow of the electric current through this cell here. So that is the reason. So in the first step, E1 is active case, whereas E2 is inactive case here. So it is given by the switch S1 that should be closed, whereas switch S2 should be kept as a open. Now, if that is the case, the amount of EMF that has been drawn by that cases whenever switch S1 is closed, whereas switch S2 is open, in that cases we can write E1 is equal to K multiplied by L1 here. So what does it mean? So the EMF of a cell, so where K is one of the constant given by K is equal to I into rho divided by A. So we have taken the constant amount of electric current, so that we can say E1 is equal to K multiplied by L1 here. Now similarly we will go to the second step. So when we come to the second step here we are supposed to observe the switch S2 should be kept as a closed. So now we will make a switch S2 as a closed here, but before going to make this switch S2 as a closed, we will make S1 as a open. So this switch S1 we will make this as a open here. Now after removing this key from the switch S1, we will insert into the second switch given by S2 here. Now this switch is closed here, and this switch what we observed that is going to become open. So in that cases that we can observe E1 which was in the active case, now it will come into the inactive, whereas the second cell which was in the inactive case, that will come into what here? Active cases here. So that we are going to observe E2 is equal to K multiplied by L2 here. So this is the equation what we can write. E2 is equal to K multiplied by L2. So again the same thing where K represents amount of electric current remains constant here, and the resistivity of the wire and a uniform cross sectional area of the wire here. So that is the reason in every cases again E1 is equal to K into L1 here, whereas E2 is equal to K multiplied by L2. Now we can write E1 divided by E2. So that is going to become equals to what here? L1 divided by L2. So L1 divided by L2. So this is how we can make the comparison between what here? Two EMF of the cells. So now we will move to the next application of the potentiometer, which is called as internal resistance of a cell. So in order to identify internal resistance of a cell, here we are going to use a particular device called as a potentiometer. Let us see. So here this is what we observe, battery, and here this we call as one of the external resistor. Now so this battery arm which has been connected between point A as well as point C here. So as that of the Wheatstone bridge, or else as that of the meter bridge, between point A to the point C we consider always battery arm. So that is the reason. So point A to the point C we connected battery arm here. So the difference is again point A to the point C. So if I consider this as a point A and if I consider this as a point C here, now so in this point A to the point C, so it is not a single wire. We should remember it is of a 400 centimeter as a basic construction of a potentiometer. So this point A to the point C, it is making a 4 lines which is having a 400 centimeter wire. Now so from this point A we are going to connect a cell given by EMF E value. So cell is connected at the terminal A. So now this terminal A is connected to what here? Positive terminal of a battery. Whenever this terminal A is connected to the positive terminal of a battery, so that here we observe higher amount of a potential, whereas here we are going to observe towards the point C a lower amount of what here? Potential difference. So whenever we have the EMF is taken like this, again we are going to follow through the 2 steps here. So in the first step what we make here, we will keep this key as a open. So this will make a key as a open condition. So now if the key is open here, whatever the amount of electric current coming from the point A, it is not divided into this component. It is not divided into another component where a resistor is connected to what here? Parallel to the EMF of a cell. So now it is not divided, so that entire current flowing through the EMF of a cell. Now here you are going to observe the galvanometer is connected, and other end of a galvanometer is connected to a particular device called as a jockey. So this is what we are going to observe, a jockey. Now again the same process we are going to follow what here? A particular, we are going to observe a particular null point. So null point in the sense the point where the galvanometer shows 0 deflection. So here also we are going to observe L1. So L1 is called as a null point here. So this null point in the sense, this is nothing but the point where the galvanometer shows a 0 deflection. Similarly L2 represents, so here L2 in the sense, it is nothing but a null point corresponding to the second cell of a given instrument. So here you are going to observe L2 represents a null point where the galvanometer shows a 0 deflection. So like this. So similarly here also we are going to observe in the first step the key kept open. So if the key kept open, what happens? whatever the entire amount of electric current flowing here, that will pass through the particular EMF of a cell, which in turn connected to the galvanometer, so that we can obtain the balancing length corresponding to what here, this EMF of a cell. So this balancing length, what we obtained there, so whatever the balancing length what we obtained there, that I can write E is equal to, so K multiplied by the length given by L1 here. So this is the length given by L1. Now let us go to the step 2. So in the second step, what we observe, so in the second step, what we observe here, so the amount of electric current, what it is coming from the point A, and this is a point A here, and this is a cell where we connected, and this is a particular external resistor which is connected to what here, EMF of a cell in the parallel. So we are going to observe it is connected in the parallel combinations like this. So now this is a galvanometer, and here we are going to observe a particular jockey connected to other end of a galvanometer like this. So let us see. Now this key what we are getting, now this key kept as closed. So if the key is closed here, what happens? The entire amount of electric current, what it is coming from the point A, is divided into the components. So it is divided into the components like this. It means the amount of electric current that has been coming from the point A, that has been dragged by this external resistor here. So whatever the amount of electric current coming here, this electric current that has been dragged by this particular external resistor here. So that when the external resistor is dragging a certain amount of electric current, now we are not going to say EMF, we will consider terminal potential difference here. So this terminal potential difference, what we obtained here, that is given by a K multiplied by L2 here. So this is a terminal potential difference, and here when the in the previous step 1, when the key was open, in that cases we call that was as a EMF of a cell. So here this is called as a terminal potential difference. The reason is a certain amount of electric current that has been drawn by the circuit, whereas in the previous there is no amount of current drawn by this particular cell here. So that is the reason in the previous we consider EMF. Now when the current has been dragged here, this we consider as terminal potential difference. Now so we know the equation terminal potential difference, V is equal to E minus I into R. So if we have the equation V is equal to I into R, this implies we can write I into R is equal to E minus V here. So just divide by the V term here. So when we divide it by the V term, I into R divided by V is equal to E divided by V minus 1. So now from the equation of Ohm's law, we have V is equal to I into R. This implies V by I is equal to R here. This implies if I write reciprocal, I by V is equal to 1 divided by R here. So just I am going to replace this I by V here. That can be taken small r divided by capital R is equal to E divided by V minus 1. So just we are going to write the equation again. So this implies R is equal to, so R is equal to capital R. So E divided by V minus 1 here. So now we know here what is the E value, that is given by K into L1, whereas V value is given by K into L2 minus 1 here. So K and K get cancelled, so that the ultimate equation in order to identify the internal resistance of a cell, that is given by R multiplied by L1 by L2 minus 1. So this is the equation corresponding to what here? Internal resistance of a given cell. So this completes your theoretical concepts of this chapter. Let us move to the numericals. So here the first numerical, the storage battery has EMF of 10 volts, and if the internal resistance of a battery is 0.5 ohms here. So let us consider EMF of a storage battery is given as a 10 volt and internal resistance of a battery is 0.5 ohms here. Now, what asked to calculate what is the maximum current that can be drawn from the battery. So, the equation corresponding to identify the amount of electric current in terms of EMF of a cell, that is given by I is equal to E divided by R plus small r here. Now, we want to calculate the maximum current. So, if you want to calculate the maximum current here, the opposition offered in the wire should be 0. So, when there is no opposition, we can say the maximum amount of electric current, that is given by E divided by small r here. So, this implies I maximum is equal to, so E value is given as a 10 volts divided by the internal resistance of a cell is of 0.5 here. So, this implies the maximum amount of electric current that will be taken as a 20 amperes. Now, so here the second numerical. So, a battery of EMF 10 volts. So, EMF of a battery is given. Let us consider E is equal to 10 volts. Next, internal resistance of a cell, that is given as a 3 ohms. Next, so here if the current is in the circuit is 0.5. So, current is in the circuit of 0.5 amperes. So, what is the potential difference and what is the resistance of a resistor? So, battery is connected like this. So, this is a battery and this battery having a EMF E value and having an internal resistance small r value is connected to the resistor. So, this is connected to the external resistor like this, which is having a capital R value. So, now the current through this combination of a cell and the external resistor, this is of given 0.5 amperes. So, here the current flowing is 0.5 amperes. So, what they ask you to calculate? So, calculate resistance of a resistor. So, this capital R value should be identified. So, in order to identify, we have the equation I is equal to E divided by small r plus capital R here. So, just we'll substitute the values. So, the first value, the current through the galvanometer, current through the entire circuit, this is of 0.5 is equal to, now the EMF of a cell is 10 volts here divided by, now the capital R as usual and the internal resistance, that is given by a small r. So, that is the value given by 3 ohms here. So, just this implies a 0.5 multiplied by r plus 3 is equal to 10 here. So, this implies 0.5 into r is equal to, so 3 into 0.5. So, this is plus, so 1.5 is equal to 10 here. So, this implies r is equal to 10 minus 1.5 divided by 0.5 here. So, this implies r is equal to 8.5 divided by 0.5. This implies capital R is equal to 17 ohms. So, this is the resistance value of what here? External resistor. Next, what they ask you to calculate, what is potential difference of a battery? So, we should identify the potential difference of the battery. So, just in order to identify the potential difference of the battery, we can go through the equation V is equal to E minus I into R. So, this implies V is equal to 10 minus, now the current is 0.5 into 3. So, this implies V is equal to 10 minus 1.5. This implies V is equal to 8.5 volts here. So this is what we observe, the amount of a potential difference across a battery. Okay, so the next numerical, 3 resistors, 2 ohm, 4 ohm and one more is 6 ohms are connected in a series. So let us see. So 3 resistors, they are connected in the form of a series combination like this. So now this is R1, this will be R2 and this is given by R3. Now if we have the series combination, the formula that is given by R series is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. So we have the 3 resistors, so that the series combination value that I can write 2 plus 4 plus 6 here. So this implies a series combination value that what we can write here 12 ohms. Next, so what they ask to calculate, what is the total resistance. So this is the total resistance here. Now, if the combination is connected to a battery of EMF 12 volts. So now the combination, what we observe here, this is connected to what here? So EMF of a cell. So this is connected to what here? A cell having a EMF. That is what? E is equal to, so the value is given by 12 volts here. So now the negligible internal resistance is mentioned, so that we can write internal resistance of a cell is 0. So what is the potential drop across each resistor? So we should identify the potential drop across each resistor. So here the potential drop given by V1, and in this case potential drop given by V2, and here the potential drop given by V3. So the V1 is equal to, we have I into R1. So this is I into R1 here. Similarly, V2 is equal to I into R2. Similarly, V3 is equal to I into R3. So because it doesn't have any alternate path, it has only a single path. So that is the reason. So the current remains same here. So the charges, they don't have other alternate path to move from one end of a combination to what here? Other end. It has only a single path, so we can say the amount of electric current that remains always same in the series combination. So let us see what is the amount of electric current. So that is given by E divided by capital RS plus small r here. So this implies I is equal to, so the value is given by 12 divided by, so the series combination, this is of 12 ohms, and the internal resistance is given by 0. So because negligible internal resistance here, so that the amount of electric current that we can write given by 1 amperes. So let us see what is the V1 value, V2 value and V3 value. So V1 is given by, so the current is 1 ampere, and the R1 value, that is what we can write as a 2. So this implies, so we have potential drop across the first resistor. This is of 2 volts here. Similarly, so we can write V2 is equal to, the current is 1 amperes and the resistance, this is of 4 volts, so that we can observe the potential drop is of 4 volts here. Similarly, so V3 is equal to, so the current is 1 ampere and the resistance, this is of 6 ohms here. This is what we can observe, entirely 6 volts of the amount of what here? Potential drop. So net amount of 12 volts, that is divided into the first resistors of 2 volts, through the second resistor of 4 volts here, and through the third resistor of what here? 6 volts. Just we make a comparison. So total it is of 12 volts here. Net amount of potential is also what here? 12 volts. So net of 12 volt is divided according to what here? 2 volts, 4 volts, and one more is what we can say 6 volts according to the individual capacitors. Sorry, individual resistors here. So this is of what we can say potential drop across each resistor. Okay, so the next numerical, 3 resistors, 2 ohm, 4 ohm and 6 ohm are connected in parallel. So here the three registers have been given. So these three registers, let us consider the first register given by a 2 ohm here, and this is the second resistor given by a 4 ohm, and the third resistor given by a 6 ohms here. And all these three resistors, they are connected in the form of a parallel combinations like this. So if it is connected in the parallel combinations like this, what is the total resistance? So what is the total resistance? That is given by 1 divided by Rp, that is given by 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So this, if we substitute 1 by Rp is 1 by 2 plus 1 divided by 4 here plus 1 divided by 6 value. So just we will calculate in terms of ohms. So just we are going to identify yourself. E value na identification mod. Next, if the combination is connected to a battery of EMF 20 volts and negligible internal resistance. So we have internal resistance of a cell is 0, and this entire combination is connected to a battery of EMF 12 volts here. So this is having a EMF given by internal this is 20 volts here. So this is having internal resistance is 0 and the EMF of a cell is given as a 20 volts here. So calculate current through each resistor. So we have to identify the current through each resistor, because once it comes to this point, so once it comes to this particular point given by A point here. So let us assume this is A point here and this is assumed as a B point. So once the total charge comes into the point A, what happens? The charges are divided into the three parts. So the total net charge, it is divided into the three parts like this, so that the current through the first resistor given by I1 and the current through the second resistor given by I2. Similarly, the current through the third resistor given by I3. So these values we need to identify. So in order to identify, we have, so I1 is equal to, so I1 is equal to V divided by R1. So this is V divided by R1. Similarly, I2 is equal to V divided by R2, and I3 is equal to V divided by R3. So this is the values. So just substitute here. So I1 is equal to, so V value in the sense, so everywhere potential remains the same because the parallel combination, so that we can write, so 20 divided by, so 20 divided by 2 here, this implies 10 amperes. Similarly, I2 is equal to 20 divided by, so now this is 4 ohms here, so that the current as 5 amperes. Similarly, I3 is equal to, so we can write 20 divided by 6 ohms. This implies I3 is equal to, so 3.33 ohms. So sorry, this is amperes. So total amount of electric current through the third resistor is of 3.33. In the first resistor 10 amperes, and in the second resistor it is of 5 amperes.